Hi there, and welcome back to our series on how to create your relationship vision. If you're here because you're looking for guidance on how to reconnect with your partner, align your goals and values, or create a shared vision for your future, you're in the right place. In our first video, we talked about identifying red and green flags. In our second video, we focused on singles defining their must-haves and deal breakers. And today, we're diving into how couples can use this same process to strengthen their relationship and build a future together.
Before we dive in, if you haven't already downloaded our free must-haves and deal breakers PDF, now's the perfect time. It's linked below. This guide is an incredible tool to guide these conversations, whether you're single or in a relationship. Today, we'll walk you through how couples can use this exercise to get on the same page, identify areas of alignment, and navigate differences with intention and respect.
When I first created my must-haves and deal breakers guide, it was to help my single clients define their relationship vision. I wanted them to enter their next relationship intentionally by identifying what a healthy, loving, and secure relationship looked like for them. But I started to do this work with couples when I noticed a pattern. So many were frustrated or feeling stuck, not because they didn't care for each other, but because they'd stopped growing together. They'd never created a shared vision, and they'd begun resenting qualities in their partners that had been there all along. Maybe one person thought their partner would grow out of it, or they could change them. For example, one partner's upset because their partner has messy habits, even though they knew their partner was messy when they met them. Or one person is pushing for ambition and career changes when their partner was always laid back. And here's a big one. One partner wants kids and the other doesn't. They thought their partner would change their mind and now they're unhappy.
And if any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is why the process is so powerful. It gives you clarity about where you align, where you differ, and where you can be flexible. Here's how it works. Each of you creates your own must-haves, deal breakers, and preferences. And then you sit down and you share your lists openly and honestly. And this is where together you identify your areas of alignment and explore where you can grow.
Sometimes when couples uncover a major conflict, like a must-have that directly conflicts with a partner's deal breaker, it can feel overwhelming. But this is where I remind my clients you really aren't stuck. You always have a choice. In fact, you have 4. Number 1, you can choose to stay in the relationship, wanting your partner to change, and remain angry when they don't. Now, this choice will lead to frustration and misery for both of you. 2, you can stay in the relationship and accept your partner for who they are and love them just as they are. Now, this choice is going to require flexibility and acceptance. 3, you can choose to end the relationship with anger and resentment. Now, without self-reflection, this choice often leads to repeating patterns in future relationships. And choice 4, you can end the relationship with love, respect, and self-awareness. This choice allows you to grow and avoid repeating past mistakes.
And how you leave a relationship matters. It's instrumental in the relationships you build moving forward. But don't worry. Even if your last relationship ended badly, you're not doomed. It's only if you remain stuck in the mindset that everything was your partner's fault, then you're likely to repeat those same mistakes. So if you ignored red flags in the past, this process helps you avoid them in the future. That's why we started this series with red flags, so you can build your relationships with intention from here on out.
You might be thinking, yes, but my ex was a narcissist. They deceived me. Well, some people are very good at hiding their true selves early on. If you're being honest with yourself, there were likely signs. The key is to recognize them, and when you do, walk away. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about empowering yourself to make different choices moving forward. Now, you might need support, whether from trusted friends or a therapist, but once you see the red flags, it's time to act. Let me share a personal story. Before my first marriage, I never thought about my must-haves and deal breakers. I just wanted to be loved like we all do. but I ignored my own needs and boundaries. Not because I was foolish, but because I didn't know better. When it became clear that my ex-husband and I weren't compatible, we initially followed option one, though it wasn't a conscious decision at the time. I didn't realize I had choices. We just both felt stuck and frustrated. We found ourselves fighting often, each hoping that things, really each other, would change. Through self-reflection and therapy, I moved into option two, acceptance. I realized he was the person he'd always been. It was me who changed. I thought that by accepting him rather than trying to change him, I could find contentment, if not happiness. I stayed because, like many people, I didn't want to face divorce or the sense of failure that comes with it. However, my ex chose option three. He was very angry that I was who I am and decided he wanted a divorce. Because I'd been doing the work to accept him and myself, I was able to accept his decision to end the marriage. When I moved forward, I did so from a space of love and acceptance for both myself and my ex-husband, embracing option four. That choice allowed me to grow and create a clear vision for my next relationship. When I met Joel, he had all of my must-haves and none of my deal breakers. And when it came to preferences, we've been flexible. For example, Joel is an atheist and I'm spiritual. So while I had listed spirituality as a preference, it wasn't a deal breaker as long as my beliefs were respected, and they are. This difference has actually enriched our lives. We love taking nighttime walks where Joel shares stories about astronomy, and for me, those moments feel deeply spiritual. When I share my beliefs with Joel, it's not from a place of trying to change him. It's about sharing who I am. And being seen and known in my relationship is one of my must-haves. And this openness and respect between us has only deepened our connection.
When you think about your preferences, I want you to practice being open to influence. Are there any advantages to accepting something your partner would like? Can you listen to their hesitations with curiosity and empathy? This is where you co-create your future together.
So how do you use your must-haves and deal breakers as a couple? You're going to start by identifying your individual must-haves and deal breakers. Use the PDF that's linked below to guide you. Then you're going to share your lists with each other. Be honest and open, even if it feels vulnerable. Then discuss your preferences. Where can you be flexible? Where can you grow together? And finally, you get to co-create your relationship vision. This is where you design a future that honors both your individuality and your shared life.
Thank you for spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And don't forget to download the must-haves and deal breakers PDF to get started. Relationships thrive when we choose them with intention, respect, and love. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And let's do this together.